It's his favorite video. So we have a lot to discuss today, guys. I'm really excited to be here. We have so much going on. We are literally 24 hours out from it happening. Oh my gosh, are y'all ready? Is anybody else excited? Like anybody else understand like how close we are to the bombs being released? How close we are to everything being out? I got on a Zoom call yesterday, and I was able to see the whole new website in the back office and how everything looks. It is crispy clean, and I'll let you know to reassure you that it's done and complete. Like it's not like they're figuring out or we might not make it or blah blah blah. Tomorrow after the call at 3 p.m. Eastern, it's going to be game time, and it's very exciting. It was hard for me to sleep last night. It's been hard for me to contain myself, which is why I've been putting so much energy and effort into these trainings because I'm trying to prepare you to take advantage of what is about to happen. Because what's about to happen is something like nobody has ever seen before, and there's going to be so many people who can literally change their lives, like change your whole life by how you treat this opportunity starting tomorrow can change your whole trajectory. Like however you think 2021 is going to look, however you thought that was supposed to look 6 months ago, you can change all of that with how you act in these next couple of months with what it is that we have right now. So I'm super excited. Before we get into the details of what are the laws of building, first we have to do and be grateful and have our intentional moment of gratitude. Too easy is it often for us to jump right into our day, start calling people from our list, start worrying about, you know what I mean, family, start doing X, Y, and Z, but we have not taken that intentional moment of gratitude, which is why I love what Denzel said, put your slippers all the way under the bed, so you got to get on your knees to go get them, because that gives you a moment to do what? Say thank you and to be grateful for what? For what it is you already have. I be trying to tell y'all, I be hoping y'all don't think I'm crazy, because they be lining up with exactly what some of the most successful people in the world are talking about. But it's like sometimes people, it takes multiple exposures to get any concept through. So I'm hoping that the consistency in which we speak on some of these narratives really start to set into your life so that you can start to implement them as lifestyle changes as opposed to disciplines. So I'm grateful for waking up today. I'm grateful that I have a healthy baby boy. I'm grateful that we're launching phase 2 tomorrow. I'm grateful that the impact retreat is next week. I'm grateful for so much, like there's so much going on, but you want to make sure that you have that intentional moment of gratitude, because you are creating more space in your life for you to be able to receive the things that are coming your way. You cannot get more if you're ungrateful for what it is you already have. Okay, so very important. Glad said he's happy and grateful. I went away. Sorry, Glad. Gracie said, I'm happy and grateful for my son to be trusting who I am, became a new member of our community today. I love that. So I'm grateful for a new community. Stu said he's grateful to have God guiding these steps. Malik said he's grateful for genuine people around him. I love that. Like that's exactly the energy you. I wish I can like record this stuff. I need like that's exactly what you want to the energy you want to open up your day. Now, what have we been talking about this whole week? We've been talking about what? Getting your skills right. And if you guys, if anybody, I don't know, I can see some names on the call, I see some new names, some old people, I'm not sure. But if you've been getting value out of the trainings that we've done in the mornings over the last 3 days, can you please let me know? Can you put some numbers in the chat box? Because the level of detail that I'm trying to take, like Eric Worre said something very serious. I listened to a training that he did last week, and it hit me home. And he was saying how most people train, not how they actually build. So I started to look and think about what were the things that I was teaching and how different were the things that I was teaching from the things that I'm actually doing on a day-to-day to build my business when I'm going all in. And so that allowed me to have a perspective change coming into this week. And I wanted to reteach some of the concepts that some of you already know, but I'm looking for the recordings. I got you. I will make sure that the recordings are on the Start with Impact website in the next 24 hours for all of them. I'll post, I think the one about promoting is already there, but you guys need to absolutely watch that content, even the recording on promoting with the launch call. If you guys don't know how this is going to work, so the launch is going to work. It's going to be active after the call tomorrow at 3. Okay, so you have one more call today at 3, and then we're going to have another call tomorrow at 3 where the developers are going to be on again. It's going to be a little bit of a longer call, and then there's going to be a after we get off that webinar, the website will be live, and we'll, everybody be going in, changing their VPS. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be all types of stuff going on. But that happens tomorrow after the webinar. So what can you do, or what should you do is build up and utilize the webinar that we're going to have. Like, you know what I mean? Get as many people as possible on the webinar. They're going to give away 3 people on the webinar are going to get a subscription for 3 months on a silver pack. That's fire. I don't know. Like, I don't know who thought of that, but I love that. So 3 people that get on the call are literally going to get $700 worth of value of a free subscription for 3 months. And that's going to still count for you, which is amazing. So I think that it's going to be really, really intense and really great. But I want to talk today where we're going in this to skill camp day 4. All right. So the first day we talked about promoting. The second day we talked about personality types and prospecting. Yesterday we talked about like edification, following up. It's still a little bit more on prospecting. And like you can make money with everything we already taught you. If you go rewatch those trainings, and if you watch those trainings and implement what it is that you taught, and again, the quickest way to know if you're coachable or not is how quickly you implement the things that you learn. So I guarantee you, for those people who've already been, I can already see the Maliks and the Chazes and the few people of the world who've been already implementing what they've learned, and you see people, you see the change in the trajectory of their business already. It's only been a couple days. So before we even get into this, I need you to know, one, I love teaching. I cannot wait. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have a whole studio in here with the little Grant Cardone board where you can write on it. I was trying to figure out how I'm gonna be able to write on the ESU, all of that. Like it's passionate because, like, just like Denzel said, helping somebody else level up is selfish because it feels great when you help somebody else get theirs. Now, no knowledge is even yours until you apply it. I hate when people tell me that they know things that they've never applied or been through in their own life. Don't tell me that you've known that if you haven't ever done it in action in your own life. And I think that a lot of times people get caught up in that. So you want to, like, the first point is no knowledge is yours until you apply it. And information is only as good as the last person it was transferred to. What does that mean? When I learn something new that's going to help me be able to level up, it's only as valuable as the last person that information was transferred to. So what's my job as a human being? Help that knowledge get transferred to another human being so that way they can be able to level up. And that puts you in the position of being a tour guide versus a travel agent. And you'll see people in this space all the time, or you see leaders, or you see people on Instagram or social media teaching and talking about whatever it is that they're teaching and talking about, but they haven't really been through those experiences themselves. The same way that I could sit here in Atlanta and help somebody book a flight to Mexico, even though I've never been to Mexico before, but I wouldn't be able to be a tour guide and walk that person through what the landscape of, you know what I mean, that place is like. That's different than what it is we have here. In this space, you got to become the tour guide, which means what? You got to go and create your own experiences from the things it is that you're learning, so that way you will now have the experiences to be able to help somebody else. And that is very, very important that you approach it with the mindset of, I got to go experience what it's like to prospect X amount of people, to edify X amount of people, to do this work, so that way, when your team starts to, when your momentum starts to grow and your team starts to build, they're going to be looking at you for answers, and you got to help them out. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be the person to break that down with them and help them be able to get to that next level. All right. So we got 34 people on the call. First question is, put a 5 in the chat box if you are right now not at Visionary 1500 or Visionary 1200. But if you're not at Visionary 1500, put a 5 in the chat box right now. If whoever this is absolutely okay. There's 90% of this call is not Visionary 1500, but I'm trying to get you to see something before I go to my next point. All right. So if you're not currently at V1500, we're going to talk about this play that's extremely important. All right. And this play was taught to me by my mentors. I've seen it taught to other people. This is a very, very simple play to get the most out of this compensation plan, how to maximize this compensation plan. If you're looking at this as you want to build Auvoria Prime, then getting to Visionary 1500, well, it'll be Visionary 1200 as of tomorrow. But like getting to that level of income is a major staple. And if you're already at Visionary 1500 or Visionary 1200, this is why it's important for you, is because in order for you to get to Icon 10, which will soon be Mogul 10, you are going to need to have about 8 to 12 Visionary 1200s in your business. For you to make $10,000 a month, you're going to have about 8 to 12 Visionary 1500s in your business. I hate the fact that like tomorrow is the day that the numbers change, but it is, you're going to have about that many people at that rank in your business, which means what? That you need to know how to help people get there as fast as possible. All right. So we're going to talk about a strategy today that's going to help you get to Visionary 1500 as fast as possible. And if you're already at Visionary 1500, how to help you duplicate that in your organization. All right. So we're gonna get right into detail. I'm gonna try to use this whiteboard feature on Zoom so that way I can draw some circles. I was gonna draw it on my whiteboard, but it wasn't coming out clear enough. So I'm gonna share my screen here, and we're gonna go over 2 plays first. All right, we're gonna teach you how to get to Visionary 1500 fast, and I'm gonna teach you how to get there slow. Both are effective. In sports, there's not one play that's going to work. There's just some plays that are more effective than other plays. And you got to realize that certain players are going to adapt to certain plays on their own. Like, you know what I mean? Like some plays are going to work for certain people better. So I'm going to teach both ways on how to build this fast or how to build this slow. All right. So first thing you need to do, hold on, let me go to the whiteboard. Perfect. Okay. Y'all see me out here. We're getting a little, trying to get our skills up. So the first thing you need to do, this whole play, this is non-negotiable. What does non-negotiable mean? This is not a debate. This is not to go through your opinion. This is just what it is, okay? If you want to get to Visionary 1500 fast, you want to get there quickly, what do you need to do? You need to enroll 12 to 16 people personally, okay? First thing you need to write down. My first objective is to personally enroll. This is how you're going to get there fast. I'm going to go over this little method too, but write down both. I must enroll 12 to 15 people out of the gates as fast as humanly possible, as fast as I can. 12 to 15 people. Let me admit Derek. Perfect. So you want to enroll 12 to 16 people ASAP. That's what you need to do, okay? Now, somebody might say, Dante, well, how do I enroll 12 to 16 people? You need to watch yesterday's training, the day before that, and the day before that, because we go over everything you need to know from prospecting to 3-way calls to everything you need to know to be able to do it is there for you. So that is should be your focus and your objective if you want to build this thing fast, all right? Now, what do you do after that? After you after you enroll 12 to 16, these are customers, okay? So you need to enroll 12 to 16 customers. After you enroll your 12 to 16 customers, you need to now identify out of those customers 3 to 5 people who you think can get to 3 and free or visionary. So you need to identify. Okay, hold on. Identify 3 to 5 people who can get. Every time somebody joins the chat, it stops me from typing. It's so annoying. Who can get their 3 and free or go visionary. And that's your job to identify those people, okay? So this is where the first goal, if you're not at Visionary 1500 yet, I don't need you looking at your team. I don't need you looking at your upline. I don't need you looking at nothing. Your first priority, your first objective is I need to launch my business and enroll 12 to 16 people. First goal, all right? Now, after you do that, I'm telling you, these are literally the laws on how to build a successful organization. I already taught you how to promote for events. I already taught you how to prospect people. I already taught you how to follow up with them. I already taught you how to edify. This is how you build a successful organization so that way you got residual income coming in for years and years and years to come. Now, so that is, if you do that, that's Visionary 1500, like you done. If you do what we just talked about right now, so how that would look is, I'll draw the circles, is that's you, that's 3 people, 1, 2, 3. If you have 16 customers and 3 of those people or 5 of those people are at Visionary, you're looking at about 30 to 35 people in your organization, which is going to put you at Visionary 1500. So just by doing this right here, you personally enrolling 12 to 16. If you're really hungry, you want to enroll 20. Eric Worre has a training that everybody should watch called How to Enroll 20 People in 30 Days. Absolutely mandatory must watch if you're serious about this. But what that allows you to do is now you can work with those people. You got to have people to work with. So you can't build an organization without people to work with. So if you go personally enroll 12 to 16, maybe even 20 people, if you're serious, that allows you to get to Visionary 1600 without depending on anybody else. All right. Put a 1 in the chat box if that makes sense. So the fastest way to get to Visionary 1500 is to go and personally enroll 12 to 16 customers, and out of those 12 to 16, identify 3 to 5 who are going to get their 3 and free. Can we get some ones in the chat? Okay, cool. Ones in the chat. We all understand that, all right? Now, I'm going to teach you how to do the same thing slow, and then we're going to go through some of the more intricate details on how to build this thing, all right? So the slower way is what you're going to see the company promoting, which is get 3, help 3, teach 3, okay? So you're going to hear that 1,000,000,001 times, all right? Meaning that you get 3 people. So I'll go back to the whiteboard. Meaning that this is you here. I know my circles are trash, but you get 3 people, boom. This person gets 3, this person gets 3, this person gets 3, and then you teach all of them basically. You teach everybody how to get their 3 and free. So that's the slower way of doing it, but it is also still effective. It can get done that way. It's just that in my personal opinion, it is slower and you put a little bit of responsibility on the other people in your organization. Does that make sense? Like, I don't like putting responsibility on other people to get me where I want to go. I don't depend on any of y'all to get me where I want to go. But at the same time, the structure of it works. Like the play works. You know what I mean? Some offenses that play football, they want to run the ball and, you know what I mean, try to score 18 points a game, 20 points a game, whatever. And there's some offenses like the Chiefs that are going to throw the ball 50 times and try to put up 50 points. It doesn't mean that there's no, like you can win a Super Bowl, like, you know what I mean, winning 20 points a game, whatever that is. My point is that every play, like, it's all on the players. The plays don't change. So you have one option of doing it to where you're going to take the personal responsibility, become a professional with the skills we talked about, and really utilize, implement that to enroll your own personal 12 to 15, and then work with those people and find and identify your 3 to 5. Because if you do it the get 3, teach 3, if you do the get 3, help 3, teach 3 method, one of your first 3 could be a bum. Like, that's just like real talk. Like, you know what I mean? One of your first 2, 3 people could be a bum, could be somebody that, you know what I'm saying, is not really serious or playing around. And then you're now trying to push that person to do something that they're not really trying to do. And now there's that like awkwardness of anything, you know what I mean? So it's very much up to your own personal discretion. All right. So can we agree now that we have 2 solid ways to get you to Visionary 1500? Either you go enroll 15 people yourself, help 3 to 5 of them get to Visionary or 3 and free, or you go enroll 3, help 3, teach 3 people all how to get their own 3 and free and go from that point. So those are your 2 ways to be able to get it done. I'm going to always urge you, if you're serious, to do it the fast way. Now, let's get into some details. How do we do this? How do we actually accomplish this? All right. Your number one priority when you enroll a new customer is to help them get results as fast as possible. Your number one priority when you accepted the responsibility, I got to bring in 3 to 5 people. I got to bring in 12 to 15 people, 12 to 18 people. That's going to take work. Yes, it is. This is network marketing, not net play marketing. So once you do that, your goal is to get them to have results with the product as fast as possible. The first time a customer hits their weekly goal, like, that is a very, very exciting moment. And what we're going to teach next is capitalizing off of that. We can't go, a lot of times y'all think that and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but the work starts when you enroll a customer. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to put work to go through the process of exposure and get them in, but there's more work to be done once you enroll that person. And the more serious you take the work after they enroll, the more serious of a business that you will have. So here's what happens. You got to realize that you have 72 hours, which is 3 days from when a person enrolls to get them some kind of a result. That's your window. If you enroll a personal customer, your window is 72 hours. If it takes you longer than 72 hours to make sure that person has a demo account and is up and running and set up, that's a problem. It's a huge problem. You cannot let anybody enroll and just, I'm going to just set it up whenever I want. Or I'm going to just set it up. No. I'm not even going to let you buy the product from me if you think that you're going to play like that. No, I'd rather not have you. Why? Because you're going to buy it. You're going to lose. If you don't set it up in a week and a half, 2 weeks, you've lost interest in it. You lose interest in the value that it brings. And now you're not excited anymore. And we just wasted all this time. You know what's crazy? Here's some crazy posture talk for you. So let's say you want to enroll somebody on a Friday. Are the markets open on Friday? No. So if you tell that person, hey, listen, I'm not even going to enroll you today. Let's wait till Sunday at 5 so that way you enroll right when the market's open. And then right when the market's open, they enroll now 72 hours in, they might have already hit their weekly goal. And you like, whoa, like, you know what I'm saying? Now their experience is totally different. And we can roll into what I'm going to start talking about next. All right. But the first thing you got to do is take write this down. I have personal responsibility to walk every customer I have through the finish line. You gotta, not the finish line, but to getting in profit. You gotta get them to see that they can make money For what reason? What's the reason? Why is that so important? Because everybody's question when they do this is, does it actually work? Even if they buy it, they're still wondering, does it actually work? So you want to get them to the point so where they know it works as fast as possible from their own personal experience, okay? So even when we start enrolling people for the $30 for the 2-week trial, if you make that important and make sure that they get set up and see that experience, you're going to be much better off. Now, here's a cheat code that we have that other businesses don't have. Our products make people money and it's easy to use. So here's how you can use that to your advantage. Our next, here's the secret question, okay? So put yourself in the mindset. You now understand I gotta enroll 15 people and help 3 to 5 of them get to 3 people. Boom. You now have so the question is, how do I get one of the 12 to 15 people that I personally enrolled as a customer to begin to build, or how do I get into their network? How do I do that? Here's how you do it. You make sure that they have had a positive result, and then immediately after the positive result, here's what you do. What's the positive result? Positive result is them seeing blue on their screen. That if they set up on Sunday night with variable in one of these accounts, and by the time you wake up on Monday or Tuesday, like more than likely they're going to have already closed trades in profit. That's another thing we're going to talk about too. For us, when we go into this launch tomorrow, because Gearbox is very much more patient and is waiting for sniper entries, it might go 3, 4, 5 days without entering a trade. For us, if you're smart, you want to push people in the beginning, especially if they're going demo on variable, because variable is going to immediately be in trades and take action. So you'll get that reaction that we want out of people a lot faster. But that's for another conversation. Damn, I'm talking fast. So here's the question that you ask somebody after they've hit their weekly goal. So now you enrolled them, you waited till Sunday. Imagine somebody like, hey, listen, Chaz, I want to sign up right now. And you like, nah, don't sign up right now. Wait till Sunday. What kind of posture is that? That you're not thirsty to go put them into business right now, because the best thing for them is to enroll right before the markets open so they have the most time actively trading in the markets. That person, even though they might be slightly frustrated, will actually respect you for having their own best interest at heart outside of what they can see at that moment. And then you're in control of the narrative when it happens. All right, so Chaz, now you put them in. Now you got them, it's Sunday, they just enrolled, they're live in the market or demo account in the markets, boom. Tuesday, Wednesday hits, they text you or they hit you up. My trade stopped, I don't know what's going on. Obviously, we know that they hit their weekly goal. And again, if you're smart, you can finagle these situations to get what you want. How? If you set somebody up, and again, if you push them, a customer doesn't know the difference. So if you help them get right, whatever, and then you tell them, you put them at a 1.5% weekly goal. Why? Because 1.5% is still better than what the banks are doing. So it's like you want to get them to that dopamine, that excitement hit really, really quickly. And then you tell them, like, you know what I mean? When you get in and you really start to do this, you can expand more, but right now we're going to keep it conservative. But my point is that once they hit their weekly goal, here's what you ask them. Game-changing question right here. Here's what you ask them. You enroll a personal. They saw that they got their weekly, you know what I mean? We just went through this whole process. They just hit their weekly goal. What do you ask them? You ask them, how many people do you know that don't know how to do what you just did? How many people do you know that don't know how to make an extra 1-2% on their money every week? See, like a lot of times we're trying to push people to start like, oh yeah, make a list, tell your people, blah, 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 blah. No, leadership is about asking the right questions. If you ask the right questions, people will you'll get to where you want to go, as opposed to trying to dictate the whole narrative and force what you want on people. So if you ask them that, they're gonna start thinking like, I do, like, you know, because it was so easy and now they're excited. How much, repeat the question, please. How many people do you know that don't know how to do what you just did? So they just hit their weekly goal. You need to be like, whoa, you just made 1.8% on your account. You don't even know how to trade. Oh my gosh. How many people do you know that don't know how to do that? Like, it's going to be, how quick of a comment? They're going to be like, oh shit, Leroy, Brandon, it's a natural thing as opposed to you going out, but you're the sponsor. So you're responsible for walking them through this process. And this is how you build your business. I'm telling you, it's going to like make it so much easier for you. So you ask them that question. You can't ask the question until they got results though. Don't allow them to see and have the true understanding that this works and that this is good for people, and you won't have an issue with flipping the script into where you want to go eventually, all right? So put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense, if that breakdown. 12 to 16 customers, 3 to 5 people that you need, 3 to 5 people that you need to get to the next rank. For every customer you enroll, you need to make sure that you're getting them a good result. After they give good results, you go and you ask them the question. It doesn't matter if they wanted to build, it doesn't matter who they are. That process will get a lot of people to help you do what you want to do, which is grow the business. Now, Another question I ask somebody is like, after that happens, they hit their weekly goal. Here's another question if you don't want to do the first one. Who do you know that I should know? If I just helped you make 2% of your account in a week, and you know that everybody in the world is got their money in the bank, all you ask them is after they just hit their weekly goal, it's like, wasn't that incredible? Like, who else do you know that I should know now? Is that like, oh, make a list, build your team, do it? No. And then here's what's oh my gosh. I just thought about that. Here's what's crazy is that we have products that make, like, it give people a reason to want to have their 3 and free. What does that mean, Dante? What does that mean? Why would somebody have a reason outside of building a business to get their 3 and free? Because getting your 3 and free is much bigger than having your subscription paid for when you're dealing with a product like ours. Let's make it make sense. Told y'all, man, y'all have messed up today. So let's look at compound calculator, all right? So let's say somebody starts with a $500 account on Gearbox, okay? $500 account, not adding any money. You need to know these numbers because if you explain this to somebody, you make something make sense, you're gonna have the result that you want, all right? So $500 starting balance. Let's say the account, this is Gearbox, but let's just say the account's making 10% a month. 10% a month, boom. In 5 years, we just walked this person from $500 to $150,000 if they don't touch anything in their account and they let it grow at 10% a month. Where's the switch? What's your point, Dante? Okay, let's say you only got one software the whole time, they never upgrade. Over the course of, from now, that's 60 months. What's 60 times 120? 120 is the amount of money they got to pay every month to use the software. 60 times 120, is that like $7,000, $8,000, something like that. So they're going to have to pay $8,000 to get this $150,000 right now, okay? Because I'm hoping y'all with me right now. I can't even see y'all anymore, but I'm hoping you're here. So they're going to have to pay $7,000, $8,000 to get to that here. If they get their 3 and free, and just simply, so realistically, they're making about 140,000, 144,000, whatever, because of that. So if they get their 3 and free and just use the money that they were already going to have to put into to pay the subscription and put it into the software, so meaning they add $120 a month, that goes from 150,000 to $500,000. So when you're talking to people, you got to let them know, listen, after you ask them a simple question, hey, listen, you might be missing out on like a couple hundred. Boom, are we back? Y'all see hear me? Thank the Lord. All right, I don't know what just happened, but so we're gonna jump right back into the mix. All right, so what was the last thing y'all heard? Can somebody tell me the last thing I was heard before I start freezing up? I might have to unmute you. I don't know when we stopped. Mike, when was the last thing you heard? You said, listen. Perfect. So what I was saying, my point that I was getting to is that for individuals, if you're looking at Auvoria Prime as just a customer perspective, that if you start an account with $500 and pay the monthly subscription over 5 years and it brings back 10% a month, you're going to be at $150,000, which means that you got to pay $6,000, $7,000 over the course of that time of $120 a month. Like that's your subscription. So you're paying $6,000, $7,000 out of that. if you take that money, you get your 3 and free and use that $120 and put it into your account, you're going from 150,000 to $500,000. What's my point though? Is that people don't even know that. People don't think about compound interest. People don't understand these long-term concepts. So if you can show somebody that and you're like, hey, listen, all you got to do is get your 3 and free, and you are now potentially adding another, $300,000 to your portfolio. Do you think that that's not going to make sense to somebody? And it's like, hey, listen, all you got to do it, all you got to do to get it is follow these simple game plan. Like, you walk them through the launch. Like, you walk them through how to get their own 3 people. Why? Because you already know it, because you already got your own 10 to 15 in this process, whatever that number is. So it doesn't matter what software it is, but it's just at the end of the day, it's the numbers. It's 10% a month over a period of time. Is like, that's what's important, not what product it is. There's multiple products that can do those kind of numbers. You guys are going to start to learn that very, very soon. Cannot wait for tomorrow. So once a person, you want to walk that person into making a decision. Okay. So this is where we're at. 12 to 16 people personally, 20 if you're really, really about it. After that, you help 3 to 5 be able to level up. How do you help 3 to 5 level up? You help them get results to start. You get them excited about their results. And then you ask them, who do you know that needs to know me? Who do you know? You walk them through that. Then now we're here. They say, okay, cool. I'm ready to do it. What do I do? Now what? You gotta know how to launch people. And this is something that I don't think we teach enough or talk about enough. You, as their sponsor, need to help launch them. What does that mean? What does launching somebody look like? Okay. So I'm gonna give you the definition of a launch, meaning that, okay, you have a customer, you have a person that's now they want to build. They've had this awakening and realizing that product works, great opportunity, X, Y, and Z, and that is huge. So what's the definition of a launch? It's first of all, the person is hosting the presentation, meaning that the person who is launching is hosting a Zoom call, hosting the presentation. The best way to do it is if you can get them to go out and put their face on a little cheap Canva flyer. You know why? Because most people have never been recognized before. Most people have never had their face on a flyer. Most people on this call have never even had their face on a flyer before. So these are small things that you can do. And again, this is you as a budding leader, how to walk your people into the level up. You can get them face on a flyer to where they're hosting a presentation, but you're giving the presentation, meaning that you're going to be the person to break down the information, or you get me, or you get Mike, or you get Stu, or you get somebody in your upline, whoever that is, to do the presentation for you. So that's the definition of a launch. Face on a flyer, hosting a presentation, somebody else doing the presentation, and then the person telling their story / testimony. Okay. So here's how a launch call will go. Let's say that I just enroll with Stu. I enroll with Jason. Jason helps me get my software set up. I set up, it works. I make 2% that week. I'm excited. Stu's like, listen, who do you know that needs to know me? Who do you know? Like, he asked me that question, and I'm like, listen, I got a couple people who I think. Stu's like, well, listen, make a list of 10 people. You want to give somebody, and your first thing you want to do is give them it's called an A-type goal. Quick, something simple, something easy, okay? Right now, as soon as they get that thought process that goes through, hey, write down 10 people, so that way, but that's where we're going to start. So you get them to build that list of 10 people. Don't ask for any more. You can do this over and over again after this, but you want to start off with something very simple, so that way the person feels very accomplished and very, just excited, and that'll get them going when they smash a small goal. What do we do from that point? What we talked about yesterday or the day before that? PS3. Pique their interest, send them the plan, 3-way call. Simple as that. So, but what you want to do is you build up. You have to make that list, and you build up to the presentation. Like, you can PS3 people from their list prior to the launch call. You can, like, I'm telling y'all, like, this is literally like free game. Because you as the leader are control. Don't tell me what they think they're not going to do. You're controlling the narrative. They're looking at you on how to be able to win, on how to succeed, and you need to guide them by knowing exactly what to do. Okay, bet. This is where you're at. You think you're ready to do this? This is exactly what we need to do for you to be successful. So you want to have their face on a flyer. You want to have them hosting a presentation. You want to have them tell their story at the beginning of the presentation. And again, this is big boy stuff for some of them. Like, this is a lot, but it's like, I'm not teaching you how to go to 600. This is for you to know exactly how to help somebody get to V1500 and then on to 10K a month plus. Like, that's what this is about, to help 10K plus minimum, because these concepts is you can get to Visionary 1500 on accident if you're just trying. These concepts of really understanding how to do this is going to help you launch your business to 10K a month faster. And the more that people see rank up flyers and they see stuff going on, it's easy. They're gonna be, oh, what I gotta do? Like, it's like they want to be a part of that. So it's like you don't expect that anybody wouldn't do the things we're talking about. They just haven't done it for you yet, or you haven't done it yet, and you can't expect anybody to do something else that you haven't gone out and done on your own yet. So they give the testimony or the story. How does that work? So the last law of the launch is you got to do it at least 3 times. So you have to launch that person at least 3 times, minimum of 3 times. That person makes that commitment. You need to launch them 3 times. All right. So you launch somebody if on 3 separate occasions in a matter of 2 weeks, somebody makes a list of 10 people, gets them on a Zoom call. On the beginning of the Zoom call, this is what you do. Super simple. You got to have that person tell their story. What's their story? Write this down. 4 steps to telling a story. Super simple. I've been over it a billion times. I'm going to do it again today. The 4 steps to telling a story. So the person gets on a call. This person might have never been on a Zoom call or talked on a Zoom call in their entire life. And you need to coach them through this conversation that they need to have with the 2, 3, 4, 5 people that are going to show up on this call. It doesn't matter how many, but you're walking them through leadership processes. And again, like you do this, you build this like this, you're not going to be doing this forever. You're going to be able to enjoy the fruits of residual income because you built leaders throughout your organization. So how do you do this? Telling your story is very simple. You need to tell what you were doing prior to the opportunity. So that's number 1. What were you doing prior to you getting exposed to Auvoria Prime, prior to you having software to trade for? Prior to that, what was your main thing? Next is, what did you not like about your old main thing? What are the things that you did not like about what it is that you were doing prior? What are those things? You need to say those things. After that, you need to go into what you found. Like, now that I'm using this software, I have X, Y, and Z. Or now that I'm a part of this community of leaders, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Like, you know what I mean? You need to explain what the change was and where you're at now, and then where you see this going because of the product. And none of those things, you don't need to have made $1 million for any of that to come out your mouth. Hey, listen, like my story. And again, it's so crazy because I've heard the leaders on this call story so many times. I could give you Jason's story or Mario's story or Paul Scott's story or Calvin Fraser's story because I've heard it so many times. But to give your story is very, very simple. Hey, listen, before I got exposed to trading, I was working at restaurants, working 60, 70 hours a week. I loved people, but I hated how many hours I had to work. I hated how much I felt like I had to appease the people in order to make money because I was trying to push to get 20, 25% tips from everybody. And I didn't like how that made me feel on a day-to-day basis. And my money was never consistent. Now that I'm in trading, I have a clear game plan on how I want to be able to grow my own wealth over the next couple of years to lead me to where I want to be. So that way I can eventually have time freedom. Boom. Simple, like super. I know that sounded very fluid, but super, super simple. What were you doing? What did you not like about it? What did you find? And where are you going? What were you doing prior? What did you not like about it? What did you find? And where are you going? After you do that, edify the person who's giving you the presentation. We just did a whole training on edification yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever. After that, you mute your mic and you let the person get a presentation. You tell your story, you edify them, and you get off. And what happens after that? So this is you telling your newest person how to do this, because you're going to walk them through. They're going to be like, oh my God, I don't want to host a Zoom call. I never talked to blah, blah, blah. No, you want this to work effectively. You want to get people in the business. I'm not trying to tell you something that's going to get you excited. I'm trying to tell you something that's going to get you paid. And like, if you get people to understand that, you're going to have so much more success. I guarantee you, once you identify, and this is what happens. So you enroll 12 to 16, you identify your 3 to 5, you go through this process of launching all your 3 to 5. I guarantee you your 3 to 5 will get their own 3. If you launch them 3 times, you'll get your own 3. But a lot of times the problem is that you enroll somebody who hasn't seen product results. Or you enroll somebody, like, you know what I mean? Like that we're a little bit all over the place. So we need to take ownership and take responsibility for where we're at, and our responsibility for our personal customers. Okay. So you need to do that 3 times with everybody that you're launching. The reason that you do it like this is because you're striking your iron while it's hot. You do this with somebody right after they've had a good result because they're excited, and you can utilize that. All right. So some things like these are some things that I feel like are huge. And what I want you to do is you can find what I used to call a workout partner. A workout partner, meaning that you do not want to be, you absolutely are going to need to know how to give the presentation. So if you haven't given a presentation before, there's a, what's it called, certification training in the back office. You need to go, and right now in your back office, if you don't have access to the presentation, it's because you're not a certified presenter. How do you become a certified presenter? Go through the certified presenter training that's already in your back office, and they will email you the new presentation. Once that's done, you need to find a workout partner, meaning somebody that's in the organization already that can help you give a presentation for you, you give a presentation for them. It doesn't matter what, like, you don't need Michael Manuel or me to come do a presentation for you. No, you can get the information is the same. Only thing that changes is me and Michael's story. But if you tell your story, you gotta realize telling your story is so brilliant because it makes you relatable. Like, you'll be surprised how many people are gonna listen to you and realize that you being transparent about where you were prior and what you didn't like about your job is bringing those things to that person's mind and allowing them to now feel vulnerable about the things that they're going through. And now that your solution might be a potential solution for them too. So I'm hoping that that makes a lot of sense. And as a leader, it's your job not to just come on a call and close the call. Like, you want to re-edify the person that got you on the call in front of their guests. Meaning that if I'm launching Chaz and Chaz goes and gets 5 people on the webinar, after Chaz edifies me, what am I going to do? I'm going to edify Chaz right back. And what am I going to do after the call? I'm going to edify her back again. So that way every guest that's there realizes and knows and understands that who they're working with in Chaz is now validated by the person that she brought on that has credibility. So what does that do for her guests? That makes them listen to Chaz. You know why? Because Chaz has somebody who's made multiple 6 figures say Chaz is legitimate and everything that she's saying is for real, and you need to listen. So that they're hearing that through a better word now. They're listening to you at a higher degree. So it's your job as a leader not to come on these calls and try to take clout from people or try to no, absolutely not. You want to give all of that. It's your job to allow that person to feel validated. All right, it's your job as the leader. And what does that do? It allows the newest person to have something to duplicate. We just walked through a whole process right now. Like, this is crazy. I hope y'all getting this, but like, it allows the newest person that just enrolled to have something to duplicate. What does that mean? If I enroll Chaz, I'm picking on you, Chaz. Hey, Chaz, I'm sorry, but if I enroll Chaz and Chaz goes and I enroll her as a customer, she has great results with the product. We had the conversation. She's now like, okay, I'm gonna get my 3 and free, which is gonna lead her in the building. Once that happens and I get on a call for Chaz and she edifies me and I do the presentation, Chaz has watched me do the, why do we do it 3 times? Not even for the people that are going to enroll. It's for Chaz to know how to do a presentation. That's the bigger win. The bigger win is the leader, the new budding leader, now having something to duplicate and watching you go through the presentation. So now they know how to do it on their own. And again, this process, it doesn't like, it'll go for the first 3 times. I'll do the presentation for you. After that 3rd one, after your story, you will have to give them first couple slides of the presentation. Give me a couple slides and then slide out and swing it to me. And then we're going to do that a few times where I'm going to do the backhand. And then eventually you're going to be giving presentations for somebody else. And I'm going to just be watching. In the back of the room, chilling. Why? But the same thing will happen for you, but you got to give somebody something to duplicate. Because if you hear me give the presentation 5 times, you're going to have a better idea on how you can do the same thing, which is why I love what Auvoria Prime is doing. You can go to Auvoria Prime's website right now, and there's 5 different people who've made 6 plus figures, most of them 7, excluding me. They are breaking this thing down at a high level. Like, you can go there and watch a presentation given by somebody who's done and played in this industry at the highest level. Watch it 5 times, go get the slides on yourself, figure out how you're gonna be able to say certain things and start practicing. Because the quicker that you get it and you're in no hesitation to when somebody says, I wanna learn more about this, to hop on a call with them and break it down on Zoom, the quicker you're gonna be running it up. The quicker you're gonna get to where you wanna go. But it's like, it's work a part of this. And I'm hoping, like, I hope this week that the one thing that you understood is that, yes, it's bigger than just the mindset stuff. This is the skill set that you need to be able to do it. But why we talk about the mindset stuff, why we talk about our affirmations is because it's work. And you need to be reminded every day why you're working and why that you're, or else you're going to need to go get told what to do somewhere. All right, like that, that's your only options is figure out how to discipline yourself and keep yourself consistent on what you're going to do and be successful in an entrepreneurship, or go somewhere else and have somebody else dictate how you're going to have to be disciplined on their clock so you can get that check. But you're not going to get a check on your own if you're not on top of yourself, focusing on your skill set. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Is anybody still here? I literally had to go on my phone. This is ridiculous, bro. I don't know what the hell is going on with Atlanta Wi-Fi, but I'm not done. Shit, that just pissed me off. All right, hold on. I'm walking outside now. Now, what I was saying is that there are 3 laws when it comes to building that I want everybody to understand. I don't care who's still on here. I hope this shit is still recording, but you need to hear this. Law number 1 is a customer is not a customer until they have a platinum pass or have their 3 and free. What does that mean? Is that you can't, like, your job is not done when you enroll somebody just to have them in and set up. It's not done until they have either a platinum pass or they have their 3 and free. Why? Because our whole vision is about diversification and is about understanding and realizing that the best way to be able to utilize our products is to be diversified with them. That's the only option. That's the only way to do it at the highest level, is to be completely diversified. So what you want to do is to every customer that enrolls has a vision that where even if you're starting today on a bronze pass, that eventually you will have a platinum pass, and it's your job as the sponsor for people that you personally work with to walk them through that process. The average lifespan for a customer inside of an organization in network marketing is 76 days. So most people, the average, you enroll somebody, this is not just about Auvoria Prime, this is industry wide, that if you enroll somebody, if you put somebody on, that they're gonna, the average lifespan is 76 days. So you want to get them to the platinum pass or to having a 3 and free as fast as possible. Why? So that way you have more people to work with. You have more longevity in your business. All right. Law number 2, a leg of business is not a leg of business and if it doesn't have at least 4 levels, like at least 4 levels. A leg of business is not a leg of business if it doesn't have at least 4 levels. Okay, what does that mean? Why? What are we talking about? Because a lot of times if you're building out a leg of yourself, if you're attacking it and you're building, your work's not done. You don't have a leg until you have at least 4 levels deep inside of that lane. All right, so write that down and don't look at like this is just for you to how you look and operate in your business. When you enroll somebody in your business, it's not done until they got a platinum pass or they're 3 and free. When I'm build a leg in my business, it's not a leg until it's at least 4 levels deep. All right, what's your third law? Third law is that it's not a team until it's at least 8 levels deep. What does that mean? I don't consider nobody to have a team inside my organization unless they have at least 8 levels inside their own organization. So when I'm looking at like what the point is between your level 4 and that level 8 range is that there's always, like, you'll find leaders in between your level 4 and your level 8. And one thing I want you to write down, this is why I couldn't stop this call, is you got to write down this acronym right here. It's called NPOM. 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 What does that mean? That means new possibility of momentum. Okay, so the person on your first leg or the person that you first enroll, I'm pretty sure most times is not going to be the biggest influencers in your business. It's not going to be the 6-7 figure earners in your business, the first people you enroll. No, they're always found multiple levels deep. So what are you doing when you're building through your level 3 to your level 8, whatever, is you're looking for MPOM. You're looking for new possibilities of momentum. You got to be able to identify people who have the potential for new possibility of momentum. So Dante, how do you identify somebody that might have the ability for, how do you identify that? Is one, they have these 3 things. So when you find a new person in your business, it doesn't matter if, you got to realize that I enrolled a lady named Rekka. Rekka enrolled this guy named Avin. Avin enrolled this other guy named Heron. Heron enrolled this guy named Shafiq. Shafiq's at 5K right now in the business. That's 4 levels deep before we found the momentum. I'm hoping that makes that super clear for you. Now, even in our first business, when I first met Calvin Frazier, I was like 6 or 7 levels deep down from where Calvin was at, but I came in and brought the most momentum in the entire company because it was new possibilities of momentum. So for you as a leader, you're looking for that. I was talking to, I think, Mario the other day, and I told him, I said, yo, you need to go. I think it might have been Brendan. I don't know. But I said, you need to pour gasoline on anywhere that you smell a fire in your organization. You need to pour gasoline on any potential fire in the organization. So how do you do that? You got to identify it first. How do you identify new potential momentum? You identify it that you usually have these 3 things.
They have influence, they have contacts, and they are currently willing or have already played the game. What is the game? What am I talking about? They know how to build network marketing, or they're willing to learn and willing to take action right now. So you're looking through your 8 levels for people who have possibilities of momentum. How do you identify that person? Those people have influence, contacts, and are willing to play the game. So you're looking for that throughout your 8 levels. That's why you have to tap root. That's why we're talking about these things that we're talking about. Now, what do you do when you find, this is I should have let Michael Manuel do this training. Michael Manuel is the best tap rooter I've ever worked with in this industry. Why? Because he understands how to go 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 30 levels deep to be able to find potential people who have momentum inside of the business. Another example, Michael enrolled some guy. His name is Brian Hill. Brian Hill's a great friend. Brian Hill enrolls his cousin. His cousin's name is Calvin Wilkins. Calvin Wilkins calls me one day after he enrolled 5, 10 people, said, listen, I got this guy named Floyd. I get on the phone with Floyd. I talk to Floyd, meet up with him in person. We enroll Floyd. Floyd introduces us to this guy named Phil. Phil introduced to this girl named Jess. Jess put 100 people in the business on her own. Like it goes, you don't know where it's coming from. You just got to work and play the game. That's what we're trying to teach you. Like, it's how to play the game. Now, what do you do when you find somebody who is that person? So what happened when Jess was found, or when Floyd was found, or when that leader was found, or when Shafiq was found? What do you do? And I'm telling you, because I've done this literally right in front of your face. What do? It is your responsibility, person. So even if you didn't personally sponsor the potential hitter in the business, even if that wasn't your personal, it's your responsibility to work with them like they were your personal. Once you find the new potential momentum, it is your responsibility to work with that new momentum as if you personally enrolled that person. Why? It'll allow you to build that relationship. And once you start building relationships with leaders and helping leaders grow, you won't have to work that hard anymore. I don't have to personally recruit nearly as much as I did before, because I've become excellent at learning how to work with leaders and maximize what somebody else is going to do. So that is of major, major value. Example. So like I just told you, I enrolled a girl named Rekha. Rekha enrolls Evans enrolls Heron enrolls Shafiq. What happens with Shafiq? Me and Shafiq talk almost every day right now. I got WhatsApp messages sitting from him right now. I've been to London on 4 to 5 different occasions. What do I do when I'm in London? I go out there and link up with Shafiq and break bread with his family. We go work and hustle and build his business. Even though I wasn't the person that personally sponsored him, now I have a great relationship with Shafiq. Another example, the same person I just talked about. I didn't enroll Jess into the business, but Jess's first week, 2 weeks, when she made that decision that she was going to build, they are talking every day, 5, 6, 7 times a day. She wasn't not even talking to her sponsors, because what did I do? I take responsibility for my business, and I understood that there was new momentum there. So what do you do with new momentum? You have to cultivate that. You have to work with that leader. Leadership isn't grown in a day. So once you potentially identify that, it is your responsibility to work with them. I literally couldn't not get to this person. So now let's talk about some more hacks. I'm not done. Now, how do you get, it's Friday, like how do you get more out of your leaders? How do you get more like once you get that person in who's going to bring momentum? And again, we've literally walked through a whole process. This process is taking you to 10K a month. From starting at, it's your responsibility to enroll 15, 20 people, to where we're at now. This is literally the whole play, I'm telling you. So what do you do when you have that new budding leader, that new budding momentum? This is what you do. You ask them, who are you excited about in your business right now? Go to every person in your organization and today ask them, who are you excited about in your organization right now? If they say nobody, that's okay. They're good, but usually they're going to tell you somebody that they're excited about. And what does that allow you to do? That allows you to go reach out to that person. So let's say I talked to Stu, I enrolled Jason. Jason's building his business. You know what I mean? We were doing this thing. Jason's got 20, 30, 40 people in his business. I tell Jason, like, yo, who in your business you're excited about? He's like, hey, listen, you gotta be like, this guy Vlad is crushing it. I just signed him up last week, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna ask Jason right then and there, listen, I need you to introduce me to Vlad. Or I'm gonna just go message Vlad on Instagram and reach out to him myself. Why? To start building that relationship. Once that relationship starts getting built, then what do? I give him an A-type goal. Hey, listen, Vlad, I'm down to help you launch and help you like crush this thing. Let's go, let's launch your business. Vlad commits to launching. What do we do from there? Give him an A-type goal. 10 people on the list. Face on a flyer, we're doing a presentation, and I'm doing it with you. Why? So that way you have something to duplicate, so when Vlad gets on his own, he knows how to take care of his leaders. I hope y'all are seeing this. Like, I really hope y'all see how simple this thing really is. Like, ask yourself this at the end of every day. If my organization saw what I did every day, how much growth would you have? If my organization saw what I did every single day, how much growth would I have in my business? Ask yourself that, because I've given you guys like 100 things that you can immediately go start doing and implementing in your business to start seeing growth. Like, I pray that you guys are getting this. I know this is a super long call. We've had X, Y, and Z issues, but I'm telling you, I've given you, it's my last point and I'm done. I've given you everything you need to take action every day and to allow the rest to be revealed to you. I can't build your business for you. I can't tell you every single problem in detail that you're going to have. But what I've given you is more than enough to go take massive action, and you're going to figure out the rest of the problems on your own. The right YouTube mentors are going to start popping up. You'll start identifying impounds in your own business. You'll start like you'll know how to do an effective three. Like, everything you have, you already have it. You just need to start taking action and allowing the rest of the variables to be able to start catching up. So, super long call. I'm thirsty as hell. I love you guys, and I'm hoping that you guys got a ton of value out of this. I'm looking forward to what it is that to what it is that we have and how people's lives are going to change. Like, that's what I'm more excited about than the software. I'm more excited to see somebody take action, more action than they ever have in this next 30 days in their life, and then be sitting at a 5K, 10K a month residual income next year from work that you did right now, something that was never even on the table for you. Like, I love that because I've seen it done before. So I'm excited. I'm hoping that you guys got massive value out of this. I will make sure that this recording gets out as fast as possible. And just super thankful. Enjoy y'all day, and let's do this thing.